and we are live here from Watkins, Glen International up in the Finger Lakes region of New York. This place, it is a beautiful place in real life. I've been blessed to go to for the 6 hour at Watkins Glen last year. I am really sad that I'm not on my way to there this year, as they're literally there this weekend. But it's going to be a great race here for the Road and Plate Palm Rat Golf Series, as it always is every Thursday night. I'm Joshua Coppernoll. I'm joined by Jonathan Canfield. John, I feel like it's been forever since we've called a race together. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Josh, and I feel like it really has been a while. Vacation last week, the week prior, you were actually gone, and Olivia Hayward and I got to call the race. And then I think you go back almost 3 weeks, and that's the last time we've called a race, but I could be wrong. I've missed a couple here and there as well. But I'm excited to see these drivers take on these 7 turns plus a bus stop here tonight. It's going to be fun. It's a course that we're used to seeing with the current day NASCAR schedule. So, even if you're a trademarked oval guy here in this league, this is a course that you would see throughout most of your seasons, whether it's league racing, iRacing officials, anything that you can think of. So most drivers have a familiarity. What the wild card is here is this car. I don't think this car has visited this course just yet in the iRacing officials. Maybe it has, and I just missed that week, but it's definitely a lot of unknowns. This car has shown that it can handle road courses, but this is, I believe, the first one where this league won't have a baseline setup. They'll have an actual track setup, and the times in qualifying are showing that we have a iRacing base setup for this specific track.
Well, I was going to say, let's go ahead and take a ride along on this track with Michael Kruger, but the moment I'm getting ready to say that, he pulls into pit road. So, Mikey, thanks for messing with me there. However, Aaron Smith is here, so we're going to go ahead and ride on board. And you see here, heavy braking zone into turn 1, 90-degree corner. You don't want to get too far off on that curbing there. Now through the S's. Turns 2, 3, and 4.
You and the viewers, Josh, but you're going to get to see an actual, what a pit stop would probably look like, because the 70 is going to be coming in this time. It's not a full lap with a ride along me. Here's that bus stop going through here. Cuts it just a little close there, but you got to get all you can get going through there. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some too wide action turning into some chaos going through that bus stop, but people like to do it. Seem to go very wide here, exiting that corner. Actually, all the way out, cutting the grass.
Yeah, you don't want to quite do that. Let's turn 5 and now 6. Another 90-degree corner to the left. And turn 7, 90-degree corner to the right. And he is coming into pit road, but that's the lap here. The start-finish line is right there.
Did actually see a little bit of what looked like loose into lockup there, trying to get onto the pit road. So hopefully he doesn't do that during what will be a green flag pit stop in the feature tonight. I mean, we know the heat race will not have a pit stop unless there is damage to the race car. But we do know at least one stop will come in the feature.
Qualifying is coming to a close with 3 seconds left. And that's time. Drivers that are still on track will have to finish. Or not be able to finish, rather, as field is now getting ready to grid. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup. And to our surprise, who would have thought Aaron Smith getting the pole right here in the Road and Plate Palm Rat Golf Series? Not I. I did not see that happening. But he does start on the pole just outside of, welcome back, Brian Molitor. It's been a while, and he's going to start in second. Third place, Dustin Bally, and Michael Kruger will start fourth. Fifth, give it to Devin Jack. Mike Thompson will start sixth. 7th, it's Samuel Stoner, Randy Bechtel in 8th. 9th place, James Moore and Evan Hoopchak will start in 10th. John?
Jay Bass going to start in that 11th position with Brandon Brush in that 12th position. 13th, you'll see Mark Royce with the 18 of Ryan Campbell in a 14th spot. 15th will be Daniel Ott. 16th, the 346 machine of Chuck Labano. Levi Powell will be in 17th. 18th will be Larry Johnson. 19th, Aaron Bray. And rounding out your top 20 will be Laura Wiseman. And just kicking off your back end of the field here in 21st will be Andrew White. 22nd, Tom Went. 23rd, Robert Brooks. 24th, Sean Campbell. 25th will be Chris Winslow. 26th will be Christopher Logan. And I believe Benson Weaver will be our final starter, as Adam Kuhn was set to make the call here. Did lay down a time, but is not going to take the field or take the lap here tonight.
All right. Sprint. The field for the sprint race is set, John. Who do you have taking the win?
It is a tight field. I think consistency is going to kill here. And I mean, easy pick's going to be Aaron Smith, but I've seen him make mistakes. Unknown's going to be Brian Molitor. I'm not ready to take him yet. I want to see what he's got. But consistency, I go with that driver, the 40, Michael Kruger. I think he's got the pace. He's one of the guys that are in that 109 bracket. He's going to get it.
Well, I'm taking Brian Molitor. That's it. Space car is in. We're getting ready to turn them loose. Green flag is out. Here we go. 15 minutes in the sprint race.
Some lock up there from Sam Stoner. Nearly sends it 3 wide into the first corner. They get away clean.
Brian Molitor is trying to stay silent. There's Regan in the background.
Didn't see the car.
Mike Thompson, the 115.
And there's more trouble. Levi Powell's around, and it looks like Robert Brooks also got something. And
Evan Hoopchak.
Up here, we are going to get a yellow.
Evan Hoopchak got into Thompson. Going into the S's.
So, yeah, we're going to get a chance to actually get a good replay here of it. They did actually throw the caution with how many cars were involved.
Ryan Campbell. Oh, we see Ropes getting involved. Let's see what happened to Ropes. Just got into Powell. Chris Winslow also involved in the 45. And who was that? That was Benson Weaver, just weaving his way through there.
It looks like Campbell, Powell, Luchak.
Oh, good God, after the wreck was over, Ryan Campbell, he could not turn. Got into Aaron Bray. It was heavy contact. Chuck Labano had to make a evasive move. I don't think that was intentional by any means, but definitely not ideal for Ryan Campbell and Aaron Bray.
But we are under a full course caution here. Something we don't normally get, but something Dustin Volley has said he will do. for these tighter knit road courses, when we have multiple cars in an incident like that, especially on a start of the race. We've seen it done in the past. And yeah, this is going to eat some of that time that we talk about. 15 minutes here for the sprint. And the other thing for some of these drivers, usually the 15 minutes is a good calculation of where their fuel and tires are going to run at. You're not going to get that full estimation of what the fuel is going to look like when we go to a 35-minute feature later. You're not gonna know when to really pit.
The lights have been changed to 1 to green here as they were going through turn 1, so drivers will get back to being double file, re-rack and restack, and get ready to go with, right now we're looking at 10 minutes 55 seconds. Of course, it'll take a little bit of time to get back to the start-finish line. Aaron Smith pulling over to driver's right. Brian Maltor will get to his left. Driver's left, that is. So front row, Smith, Maltor. Dust Bally, Michael Kruger, row 2. Then it's Moore and Jack, row 3. Stoner and Bast, row 4. And Royce and Ott, row 5. Top 10, they invert at the end of this sprint race to get ourselves set for the feature. It's going to be under 10 minutes to go when we go back green, as we are at the 10-minute mark right now. And just want to remind you that the lap counter that you see saying 11 to go, that's not always the case, as these races are timed, so it goes based off, the telemetry goes based off how many laps it thinks we will go in the time that was selected for the race. We're not going to go 11 more laps with just under 9.5 minutes remaining.
Josh, important note here. For this start, the initial start is on green, but this start is actually going to be on Aaron Smith. So when that pace car pulls off, Aaron Smith will pace the field, and he will take off.
There he goes, green
flag. You see it. Head back down into 1. Expect to see some guys have a braking duel here. You see some bumping, some banging, especially towards the back. You see him fanning out there off of 1, heading up into the S's.
Much cleaner start as they're able to get through the S's and now onto the back straightaway before heading
battle
to
for
the
position
bus
is going to be around Sam Stoner going into this deep braking zone at the bus stop. He's side by side with Devin Jack. That doesn't work too well through the bus stop here.
Now Jay Bass kind of stuck side by side with Stoner. And I noticed Laura Wiseman in the background completely missed the bus stop. Drove straight through. That'll be a time penalty. Slow down, that is.
Bass and Stoner throwing bumpers at each other a little bit here. I see Royce in the background. He's going to be side by side. I believe that's going to be Daniel Ott. Or no, now he's actually or Daniel Ott's under attack from Hoopchak as they go into the braking zone here at turn 1. Mark Royce sitting in your 10th position, currently holding on to that invert spot that would give him the pole. Evan Hoopchak, I believe, might have some pace there and something to say about that before the sprint race is over.
This track, I think, is one of the most common known tracks in the NASCAR community. A lot of drivers know this track pretty well.
Which make the racing all the more better. You'll see guys pushing it a little more because they think they know the track that much better. I mean, easy to make mistakes here when you feel comfortable and right at home at a track. So, realistically, I said it in the pre-race when we were making our picks. I think consistency is going to get it.
Back up front, it is all Aaron Smith as he continues to extend the gap ever so slightly on Brian Molitor. But you see, it's not really that much of a difference between Smith all the way to Bali. Moore and Kruger not too far behind either.
Our closer battle right now is actually Mark Royce closing in on the back bumper of Brandon Brush, with Jay Bass just ahead of him. Mark Royce showing a little bit of pace here. The 45 of Chris Winslow might have had trouble through the S's there. He is just getting back up to speed and on pace. Oh, something happened to Daniel Ott. We missed it. I don't know what happened, but the driver of the 29 is disconnected.
It's not ideal.
Oh, Daniel Ott actually had problems in the S's the last lap. Gets the wall and around it goes.
Michael Kruger, the number 40, has caught James Moore. It's a little bit closer to him before the S's. James Moore able to extend that gap just a little bit, heading into the bus stop. See if Kruger can chase him back down.
Both of them are actually catching up to the 24 of Dustin Bawley. He's got Molitor just ahead of him. And Smith, so this front group is actually closing back up. All that being said,
Bali was the fastest last time by.
yes, he stole it right from me. I believe I had a blink out there for a second. I might have lost some connection, so I lost my data there for a minute. But yeah, Bali last time by was the fastest. This time by, Smith picks it up to a 9.722.
Best lap of the race as well.
Yeah, Smith putting them up. Putting them up and putting them down as quick as he can right now. Closing in on the later stages here of this sprint race. Remember, we did have the one caution thrown for the incident on the initial start. Wow, watching right there, Dustin Bawley's getting after it through the bus stop. That's where he's making up a ton of time to these front two. But Molitor, the same thing, getting after it in comparison to Smith. And if you're Aaron Smith, we talked about it. I've seen him make these mistakes that put him in a hole, whether it be just overdriving the car or getting his nose put in the wrong spot, or even his rear bumper put in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Those mistakes have been what have kept him from just complete domination of this series. And I think right now we're seeing him just very carefully make sure that he's putting down clean laps and that he's not overdriving the car.
Kruger taking a peek to the inside of Moore. Not able to stay there.
Moore's just doing a great job getting through the S's with a little bit more momentum, but still has Kruger all over the rear bumper as these two are actually backing up to the grasp of Sam Stoner and Devin Jack.
Oh, Kruger's going to slide. It's not much of a slide, but it was enough to lose him more time, 2 more. As there are 2 minutes left in this race.
We'll see the white flag next time we come by the line. Aaron Smith in control right now, clean through the S's. Bali and Molitor are closing up to each other, not to the leader currently. Aaron Smith kind of stretching that lead out just a little bit. Moore and Kruger continue to chase each other. Stoner is still closing up to the back of this battle between Moore and Kruger. Devin Jack following. Then there's a gap to Brennan Brush. Jay Bast and Evan Hubchak has taken over your 10th position and would start on the pole of the feature with the invert. So he has your invert spot commandingly over Mark Royce right now, who is sitting in that 11th spot.
White flag is going to be waving. There are 53 seconds left in this race. So I know the ticker says 3 to go. Do not listen to the ticker. Listen to me right now. This is the last lap. There is not enough time to do another one after this. So right now, Aaron Smith, he is on cruise control. He is 1.8 seconds ahead of Brian Molitor. He's making his return. And he's just got to get through this chicane, which could be pretty sketchy. And all the while, big battling going on back here. Kruger is right there with Moore. Stoner is being pressured from Jack. Stoner goes wide. Jack is going to get underneath him and get the position. But Devin Jack P6.
P4 is actually getting heated up as Kruger's going to make a big send to the outside here of James Moore. He's going to go wide, but I think he's still going to have a little bit of position. No, he's actually going to lose the position there. So Kruger took a chance at it. If he could have made it stick around the outside, he would have gotten it. James Moore actually going to bring it home fourth. Dustin Bali third. Aaron Smith does get the win, and Brian Molitor will take second.
Smith, Molitor, Bali, Moore, and Kruger, the top 5. Devin Jack, Samuel Stoner, Brandon Brush, Jay Bass, and Evan Hubchak will be your top 10. Remember, 10 get inverted. Hubchak's going to start on the pole. Jay Bass second. And what a front row that is going to be. With as close as this field has been, I don't think you can just, based off of performance here in the sprint race with Smith getting a lead. Oh my goodness, what destruction in the background. I don't think you could just give it to Smith. And we get an interview with somebody.
As of right now, our interview would, by default, fall to Brian Molitor. But I do not see the driver of the 4 car in a call. And then the next down would be Dustin Bali, but he has withdrew all of his interview rights. Dustin Bali does not want to speak with us for the rest of the season. Not in a negative way, but just in general. Wants to give his guys a chance to shine.
You know what we can't talk about? We've got the bracket challenge going on. And Aaron Smith is going up against Ryan Campbell this round. Chuck Labano, Laura Wiseman, Levi Powell, Jay Bass, Michael Kruger, and Samuel Stoner. And I think really the closest one up front was Kruger and Stoner. Of course, Kruger getting the higher finishing position over Stoner, but it was pretty close.
I did just get word we can actually catch a word with the driver here. Josh, we're going to go ahead and talk to our 4th place finishing driver, who is James Moore. He's going to get the interview.
Well, James, it was a fourth place finish for you there in the sprint race. But did you learn anything that you'll be able to use here for the feature?
Yeah, these fast guys are really fast. It must be pretty crazy to have to talk to the guy in fifth. That just shows how much the people up front are winning. It was a fun race out there. I held up Kruger the best I could. I'm looking at an EOL for the feature, so every little point counts. This is such a fun track, and these guys are all so clean to race with. It's really just a great track for this group.
Well, this track, it is a pretty fun track. High speed road course that, I mean, even the laps are done pretty quickly. So it's going to be a 35-minute feature event. How do you stay focused to work your way through the field with your EOL?
I'm just really desperate to get as far forward as I can because, starting at the back is no fun, and I want to show. I picked this track. This was my pick for the season, so I want to show that, given the right conditions, I could have contended tonight for a win.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Actually, before I let you go, sponsor shout-outs. Who gets it done for you?
Big shout out to my fiance who just brought me a pain pill because I'm pretty messed up after a car accident last month. So shout out, Sarah. I know you're watching. Thank you. Appreciate that. Other than that, Velocity Pixels racing team, we're doing some pretty cool stuff over there. Hit us up on socials.
All right. Good luck to you here in the feature, and maybe we'll talk to you afterwards.
Thank you.
And that was James Moore. And we're getting ready to race in the feature. Go ahead, take a look. Well, actually, I know better than that. It'll break. So we can't really show you the starting grid. However, it is correct on the ticker itself. We know Moore has to go to the back because of an EOL, but it's going to be Hoopchak and Bast up front, Brush and Stoner, Jack and Kruger in row 3. James Moore, Bali, of course, 7th and 8th. Moore going to the back. Maltor and Smith, 9th and 10th. And that's really where I want to keep my eyes at, John, is 9th and 10th. We know about those drivers are fast. Bali is fast as well. Kruger, he is always fast. But I really want to keep my eye on that 5th row with Smith and Molitor to see how quickly they are going to advance through the pack. Well, I'm going to ask you once again, John. It's time for the feature event. Who is your pick to win?
Be completely transparent. I don't have a pick. I'd be lying if I said I had one. I don't know because traffic plays such a big part here. There's not a lot of, I'd say, key passing zones. You've got turn 1, you outbrake the driver, make him make a mistake, and then you've got turns 6 and 7. But other than that, it's pretty tough to pass around this place. I think I'm going to take your pick from the sprint race, and I think I seen what I needed to see. I'm going to take Molitor, but he still has his work cut out for him. Don't get me wrong on that.
I am going to go with Stoner. And I was going to pick Bast, but Bast also has an EOL. Stoner is really fast on these road courses.
So, to run it down, drivers with EOL, currently Jay Bast, James Moore, we know about those two, and Andrew White is also on EOL. So those 3 drivers will be starting from the back. And they will be starting at the back. We have a quick pace lap. Pace car's off. Green's out. Evan Hoopchak hits the loud pedal, and we are down and away into turn number 1, where the chaos always ensues. Watch the driver spread out. Aaron Smith making a quick lunge to the middle already, picking up maybe 2 or 3 spots right there in the first corner. If Brian Molitor is going to be 2 drivers right, Driver's left is going to be Dustin Bally. Aaron Smith forced to back out.
That was sketch, but they made it work. Smart move by Smith to go ahead and back out, save that race car rather than try to push the issue. Everybody makes it
Don't take
through.
your eyes off him yet. We're coming into a deep braking zone here. Watch for a couple sends from different drivers. And Devin Jack's going to miss the bus stop. He'll come to a stop right there. We've let a lot of the field by and make sure that he serves his time penalty. It looks like James Moore is struggling here in the back. He's kind of wiggling around. Devin Jack misses that bus stop. James Moore already on the move, though. Up quite a few positions. He's right now alongside of Mike Thompson, headed into turns 6 and 7.
How about Michael Kruger?
Gonna lead the first lap, and yeah, Kruger, where did he come from? He's gonna have a shot down here into the first turn at the braking zone. He's almost there, but not quite there. I believe I heard some screeching. Trying to make sure that nobody's off course. No one off course. All drivers still on course.
Michael Kruger all over the back bumper of Evan Hoopchak as he searches driver's left. They're going to be side by side coming into the bus stop. This could be sketch, but advantage Evan Hoopchak into the bus stop. Kruger's going to spin.
Kruger.
Maybe. He does. He locks it up, but around goes that 40 machine. He quickly gets it back, pointing the correct direction. Going to rejoin the track, but all this track position is lost as he has fallen all the way back to, it looks like, well, even behind James Moore, who's crossed the line in 22nd.
Oh, and there's contact back there. Somebody's in the wall.
That's going to be
Christopher Logan.
Yes.
75 of Christopher Logan. Big damage to the front end of that machine. It doesn't even look like it's going to steer the way he wants it to. Maybe able to link it back to pit road, but luckily, this league does run the fast repair, so he may not lose a lap, but he's going to have a lot of time to make up here, and it looks like the steering might be broke on the 75. Yeah, straight into the sand pit. He'll have to tow. And that virtually ends the night.
Samuel Stoner hard into the wall in the S's. He's going to go around and hit the other wall. So Samuel Stoner with a lot of damage. Oh, man.
Oh, that looks eerily similar to the incident that Dan Ott ended up retiring over. Just trying to cut that corner right there in the S. Just a little too far right, gets the wall.
Stoner
continues on, but he's side by side with Kruger.
Actually was able to get past Kruger there. That's going to be 17th position. Kruger in 18th, and well, just ahead of them. Mike Thompson got a little squirrely.
Up front, Hoopchak comfortably in the lead right now. Not under any pressure. Behind is Dustin Bally. And then right behind him is Aaron Smith. Molitor trying to keep up with the two ahead. He rides in the 4th spot, and in 5th you'll see Brandon Brush, who's got some surprising Mark Royce, who is I believe our 11th place finisher from the sprint. Just missed the invert, but Mark Royce making the most of it right now, riding in that 6th position. And looking like he has the pace to keep up with the 41 just ahead of him.
Aaron
Smith.
Drivers
to note in the top 10. Larry Johnson riding 10. Tom Went 8th. Ryan Campbell running in 7th.
Aaron Smith is all over Dustin Bally's back bumper, but he's staying patient, not really trying to make any move right now. And they are actually closing in on race leader Evan Hoopchak. But also just kind of bringing Brian Molitor into the picture. Molitor, only driver to run a 109 that last time by. So fastest car on track that last time by Brian Maltor is it's pretty much a 3-car battle for second, and just barely up the road is Evan Hubchak. These guys still just hounding each other. Brian Maltor once again the fastest out of the 4 as Maltor is all over Smith. So now what do you do?
Connected at the hit essentially, and it's going to come down to that pit stop, Josh. That's what it's going to come down to. They're all racing to that pit stop. That is going to be what separates these drivers, because overall pace will pay off once we get into the pit stops. Once we've got drivers that are going to pit, who's going to take the undercut and who's going to take the overcut. That's going to be what pays the difference here.
Agreed, for sure. But I also think that you might want to have a little bit of track position ahead of your competitors here. So if you're Aaron Smith, do you press the issue to get in front of Dustin Bally? If you're Brian Maltor, what do? Do you try to get in front of Smith? If you're Hubchak, I mean, are you just hoping to keep every single one of them behind you?
We've actually had another incident on track. Mike Thompson was involved, and it looks like, oh, Stoner got a piece. Tom went. Is off track. Misses turn 6. I don't know if he misses it. Yeah. Looks like he's going to try and outbrake. Is that behind him? Larry Johnson into 6. Locks him up. Misses the corner. Slides wide. And then when he rejoins, he collects Stoner. Almost Kruger. I'd be curious if Kruger got a piece of this, but looks like he's going to collect Stoner. Almost Kruger, and then Mike Thompson runs right into the back of him. Mike Thompson has left the session. That's one of those ones where you kind of scratch your head on a bad rejoin there, potentially. Had the chance to cut it right a little harder, or even wait for some of the field to pass there, and just, I guess, trying to minimize his track position loss. Ends up taking out 2 other cars in the process.
Smith was there trying to make a move on Bally, but unable to make it happen. Bally takes a peek, not close enough. Heading into the bus stop. But these 4, for the race lead, they are all under a blanket.
Yeah, you seen Bally kind of juggle his car there for a second going through the bus stop. It allowed Aaron Smith to get a little bit closer, but just these 4 drivers are so close and together and close-knit. And again, the passing zones here, very, very limited. We know about turn 1. We know about these 2 corners right here in 6 and 7. The bus stop is a passing zone, but you have to get pretty much to the door, maybe even directly side by side of the car you're trying to pass before they'll end up having to concede that spot. But you got to time it right.
I definitely wouldn't want to try to pass somebody in the bus stop.
Bally might take a chance here. Hubchak gonna block. Good block, actually, by the 7.
Oh!
As I say that, he's gonna... Oh, that's a race ender.
Evan Hubchak hard into the wall. His car is destroyed, and so is the 44 of Mark Royce. Oh my goodness. Kevin Hubchak off turn 5, I believe that was.
Yeah, turn 5, the carousel, and you mentioned Royce. He's parked up in the corner of the carousel. He gets it righted and gets going.
Oh, Jay Bass gets clipped! Jay Bass goes around.
Yeah, another case of I don't think Hubchak knows how damaged his car is, or even drivers trying to get around him don't know how damaged his car is. Heading into that corner, you can see the speed difference, and it looks like Jay just tries to get turned in, even though Hubchak's there. Tough spot.
Real quick, we got a battle for the race leader. They're pretty much 3 wide going into the bus stop. Maybe a little bit of contact. Aaron Smith is in the grass. Brian Maltor just behind. They finally get single filed out, with Smith still leading ahead of Maltor and Bally.
Maltor looking awfully aggressive right now, honestly, after that little bit of a, what we call probably a hip check there through the bus stop. You see him attacking the braking zones. He's trying his best to keep pace with the 70, but also to get to that 70.
Here's Smith pulling away ever so slightly. See if Maltor can get back into a rhythm. See if he can run Smith down. But they are driving away from Bally.
Watching these two up front, and just me remembering, what Molitor needs to do is not necessarily try to pass Aaron Smith here before the pit stop, but you need to keep the pressure on. Smith, as we mentioned, has had his moments where he's pushed the car too far. I think Brian has done the same in older model of cars. Again, this is his first race of the season with this model of car. Both these drivers we've seen be dominant, but both of them are prone to making mistakes when under pressure. Right now, I think Brian Molitor has the advantage in the head game. And when I say that, I mean the mental side of racing with this road course racing. Just being behind somebody, being able to put your front bumper in their mirror and let them know that you're there. That's a mental toughness side that you got to test with each and every driver, and I think Molitor is in the catbird seat right now for trying to just wear Aaron Smith down as much as he can with that mental game that they're going to play, that cat and mouse game of back and forth. As they've got a slow car actually just in front of them.
Tom Wendt.
I've seen Tom Wendt have some damage here and some incidents. I believe he's still got damage now, but this opens the opportunity for Brian Molitor to make the move going into the bus stop. He does peak. He's almost there. Aaron Smith temporarily clears. Wendt's going to get out of the way, but Molitor's pushing the pressure right there to try and get through the bus stop. Man, that was close.
These guys are just making me nervous with how hard they are racing each other right now. Oh my
going
goodness.
to the inside of turn 6. That's Robert Probst. Not sure if he's had an incident or if he was just trying to stay out of the way. It does look like the left front's knocked off the car. Not sure where his incident happened. Oh, it's the bus stop. Misses the bus stop. He might have had damage before that, but he definitely made it worse. This looks like he has no steering.
Molitor looks so much better in the S's. He's actually going to get to the back bumper of Smith. He's going to pull the driver's right, start braking early. He did not want to go ahead and try to make that move right then and there. And Smith looks a little sketchy in the bus stop. Molitor actually getting a little slideways there on the exit of the bus stop. And yes, I know I said slideways.
I was getting ready to point something out that I noticed last time, but this time they actually changed it up. I had been noticing that Brian Molitor would exit the carousel a little bit tighter than Smith, not letting the car swing out as wide, but that time they both actually let it swing out wide on the exit. I was able to go back and look at what was going on with the 5 of Robert Brooks. Misses turn 1 initially, and that's the damage he had on the left front that he probably didn't know he had. Misses the bus stop, damages the right front. And fortunately, just slow enough to be out of the way on the inside of the corner of turn 6. We've already seen a couple incidents due to drivers not aware that they have no steering. Fortunately, we didn't have to watch another one.
Maltor not close enough to try to make a move, but you know, I'm really figuring out where he is better than Aaron Smith, and that is getting through the S's. Maltor seems to really close up in the S's to the back of Aaron Smith, but just runs out of time with that straightaway before the bus stop. And it is so much harder to make something happen in the bus stop than it would be for, say, here, turn 6 and in turn 7. And now we've got all this lap traffic. I count 4 cars just ahead of them on the same straightaway. So I'll also keep an eye on this as they try to make their way around traffic. Smith gets into Campbell. That's Sean Campbell. Sean goes wide. Smith is fine. Campbell's actually stopped off of turn 1.
So Campbell's going to be, I believe, just sitting actually in turn 1 as someone behind him is spun. That's going to be Larry Johnson actually spins it in turn 1. Oh, and he's still around in turn 1, and here comes Sam Stoner. Oh, boy, that was almost bad. So Johnson gets it going. Campbell, I believe, has towed. Yes, Sean Campbell has towed.
Back to the battle for the race lead. It's Aaron Smith still holding on to it. Maltor is there, and I feel like if Maltor gets clear of Smith, oh, if he's able to, though, he's squirrely, loses a ton of time, has to save it, and now he's got a lot of ground to make up in 16 minutes and 53 seconds.
The outlier here is the pit stop. Does Molitor, with that wiggle, go ahead and pull himself into pit lane? I mean, we know they can go the 15 minutes on fuel. If he taps off right here, he should be fine to make it to the end. It's actually, I do see over chat right now, I believe we're going to be seeing the 70 pull it in. So our race leader should be coming to pit road right here. He's got the 1 of Benson Weaver just ahead of him. Also coming to pit road. That could get sketchy.
Oh, man.
Maltor going to follow.
And that helps Maltor. That,
And Ollie going to stay out here. So Ollie's going to actually inherit race lead.
Bolly's already come down pit road.
Ollie's already pitted. I missed that a while ago. We've been watching the lead for so long. He was, I believe, the 3rd car in line at one point. So,
seems like everybody is coming down pit road, so I think Smith will stay the race leader.
Yes, you are right, but I believe that also happened because, as I mentioned, Aaron Smith puts his call out for pit over the public chat. Others are able to see that. Smith off and away, does keep the lead. Maltor actually quite a ways back still. Sam Stoner in between he and Smith currently.
I am confused. Aaron Smith was in his box 8.2 seconds. Brian Maltor 10.7 seconds. Neither one of those were 4 tire changes.
10 tells me maybe 2 and a little extra gas. Maybe Smith running it a little thin, trying to make sure that he has just enough to finish. Maybe Molitor's thinking if there's a caution potentially, that even that would play on the side of Smith rather than Molitor. Unless we run extra laps, which wouldn't be a thing with a timed race. So unclear. I have to go back and look.
Oh, we have a battle for third place. It's between Brandon Brush and Ryan Campbell. It's Brush holding off Campbell through turn 1.
So Brian Molitor did take extra fuel, also took left side tires, where Smith took no tires.
It's interesting.
So we've got a 2-tire strategy with a little bit of extra fuel, a no-tire strategy with just enough fuel, and a big chunk of time to be made up if you are the Ford Brian Molitor. But with those left sides, this was something me and I believe you and I have talked about this at least once, Josh, but Olivia Hayward and I covered this just 2 weeks ago.
Oh, Brian Molitor, real quick! I saw lockup heading into turn 1.
Yep, and that's going to be it for the driver of the 4. He tows it, and I'm going to guess we're going to see it jump out here soon. Yep, there it is. Brian Molitor going to call it a night. That was the cherry on top of the cake for him. That's going to hand a dominant lead, actually, over to Aaron Smith. As the next driver behind is Brandon Brush, still going through the S's, while Smith is on the end of the carousel. I was just getting ready to say that we had talked about the difference with 2 tires and how it feels, and we had talked to a couple drivers about how that differs. And it works. We have seen it work, but initially you're going to struggle until those 2 tires that you took get that heat cycle in them and start to really pull the grip that you need out of them.
So here's the battle for 21st, as well as the leader right behind them. Winslow 21st, Probst 22nd, Aaron Smith the leader.
Wide through the S's there. That was a little sketchy.
Yeah, it was. They made it through, though. And Smith going to get around Weaver. Or, I'm sorry, that's Winslow. Chris Winslow, not Weaver.
So Brandon Brush, actually, right now, running second.
Well,
Third is going to be Ryan Campbell. They are racing for position. And right behind them, for position, James Moore, Michael Kruger.
They're side by side into the bus stop.
He actually
I
did
don't
a great
know.
job there, keeping it clean.
I don't know how they didn't make contact there. Even just a little rub. That was incredible.
So there's a battle for second and third. Ryan Campbell close enough to challenge for second. Kruger, we just seen him battling for fourth with Moore. He gets the spot ahead of Moore. Sixth is Chuck Labano, so that's a 3-car battle for that 4th position. Kruger edging both Moore and Labano out. 7th is Jay Bass. He's actually under fire a little bit from Randy Bechtel in that 8th position. 9th, Hubchak, our pole sitter for this race. And 10th is going to be Mark Royce.
So much craziness has happened in this race that it's kind of looking up and seeing Evan Hubchak in 9th is really surprising to me based off what happened to his race. Now, you know, you mentioned it earlier, fast repair, and that helped. I mean, if it wasn't for the fast repair, Evan Hubchak would not have been able to get that car repaired fixed up, 100% clean, and be able to continue the way that it looked. He probably would still be sitting in pit road right now if it wasn't for that. So the fact that he's still out here in 9th place on the lead lap, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and the way he had to get it done was he did not take the tow. He took the risk, and we've seen a little bit of contact with other cars because of him taking that risk of the way the steering was and him being slower traffic. Definitely didn't make any friends on his way to pit road, but made it to pit road, didn't have to tow, so he was able to just stop in the box, make sure that the car switches over to that fast repair, everything fixes itself, potentially even 4 fresh tires and enough gas to make it to the end, and off he went.
And we talk about fast repair every week in this league, and quite honestly, I think if you're going to have a fast repair and need to use it, I'd rather use it at a road course and feel more comfortable about the less likelihood of a mistake happening later, as opposed to this was a plate race. I hate using the fast repair early. Anything could still happen.
Right now we do have the battle for second place heating up. Ryan Campbell closing up to the back bumper of Brandon Brush. They're closer together, and there's problems up ahead. I believe that's Winslow.
That was Winslow.
Goes around just ahead of them as they were battling. He's still stuck in the center of the track. Still sitting there, trying to wait for clearance to get it righted. Hoop shot gonna get into him. Finally, the 45 is able to pull out of the way and try to get it righted. He comes out just ahead of Bally. Finally, Chris Winslow is able to pull away from the accident scene. Back to that battle we were looking at for second place. That's still close together.
And you're about to have
Kruger's closed it in. You're about to have a 3-car battle for second place. And with Kruger comes James Moore. And just behind them is Chuck Labat. So second back to 6th. It's a toss-up. They're all close enough together.
And I just want to point out what could have been for Michael Kruger. I mean, he had issues that resulted in him spinning out and falling all the way into 22nd, roughly. And for him to be in 4th place right now and battling for second place with 6.5 minutes, just under 6.5 minutes left in this race is pretty impressive. Kruger staying patient. 6 minutes on the dot. Kruger a little loose there, getting off of one, but no harm, no foul, able to keep going into the S's.
Ooh, as Campbell's going to have a run on Brush here, that's going to be a side-by-side battle. Heading down into the bus stop, Campbell backs out. Kruger gets a great run through the bus stop. He's going to have a shot in the carousel. Great job there through the carousel, too. He's still right there on the back bumper of the 18. Keeps it nice and tight and neat. He's going to have a chance going into 6. Shows the nose. Doesn't dive it in, though. And that's what we talk about with those gamesmanship, that little bit of mental play. You see Mikey just peek out there. Never probably was going to dive it unless his run was very big, but just getting in the mirror of the 18, making him think about it if he's going to go in or not. That's the kind of mental games these drivers play on a road course. Make the other driver think if you're going to send it in. As Rush has issues in the S's, and that's going to cost him second place. Drop him down to 6. He's actually going to stop and tow. That probably is the night for the driver of the 41.
So now for Kruger, he doesn't have to worry about trying to pass 2 cars, but now only 1, and also hold off Moore because Moore has reeled him in. Kruger knows he's being held up right now by Ryan Campbell. If he can just try to find a way around that 18 machine, I bet he thinks that he'll feel all right. Moore is quick, though. You cannot count out Moore. So what's Kruger going to do? He stays in the line right now, not close enough to try to make a move on Ryan Campbell. Only a few minutes left, so he needs to make something happen as soon as possible. You can't really afford to wait. As he's going to take a peek. That's all he's going to do. Just a little peek. Get back in the line. They're all through turn 1. A-okay.
Trying to peek to the driver's left. Heading down into the bus stop. We've seen Campbell do this. It's a play to make that driver in front of you brake a little harder into the bus stop. Again, Kruger just trying to force a mistake here. Clearly faster, but passing's tough on this road course. Kind of almost have to force that mistake out of the driver in front.
Kruger is still staying patient. But a great run up to Campbell out of 6. Kruger is going to get sideways. Sliding. That's actually going to cost him a little bit of time up to Campbell. Moore not close enough to pressure Kruger. Oh, but Kruger's going to slide again. Lock up the tires. Now Moore's going to be side by side heading into turn 2 in the S's. Kruger hands it to him. So actually, James Moore P3.
James Moore moves into that. There's Ryan Campbell comfortably in second for now. And no competition for our race leader, Aaron Smith, currently in his own zip code. Nobody around him, no lap traffic, no drama, just on cruise control for the driver of the 70.
He can coast. In fact, if he slows down about 20 seconds, this could be the last lap for him. He is in the S's right now. We're going to have another lap, so right now you can look at the ticker and see 2 to go. And that is correct, as there is 60 seconds remaining on the clock. We are still watching this battle for 3rd place, Kruger and Moore.
And even Moore has a slip there. Kruger has to go wide. Kruger's got the advantage, and he will take back over the 3rd spot as there's trouble up ahead. I believe that's Robert Bropst going to be heading off the track. That could have been bad. Bropst trying to find a spot to rejoin. He does, and he'll continue on.
So the white flag is out. There are 15 seconds left in the race. Aaron Smith. He could just cruise from here.
Yeah, and Aaron Smith, talk about, somebody who's just dominating a race right now. Lapped up to 10th place currently. next person he would lap would be Dustin Bawley, who is around the carousel already. But 10th place, 1 lap down. 9 drivers going to finish on the lead lap. At a road course like Watkins Glen, that's putting it on him, and he's not slowed down either. 109.880 last lap. Let's see what he puts down in his final lap, but this is essentially just a parade lap and a formality for him. Coming off of 7 onto
Checkered
the
flag.
long front straightaway, and he's going to collect that checkered flag.
Aaron Smith, your race winner tonight, here from Watkins Glen, and the battle for second place. It is on.
6 and 7.
Andrew White, not a factor. He's a lap down.
Oh, but he's playing a factor right now. Campbell is being nice. Kruger's there, but not enough of a run.
Campbell's got him. Campbell, Kruger, and then more. Chuck Labano also finishes P5. Not a bad night for Labano. But it is all about this man who's coming out of the carousel, turn 5. Doing a little bit of drifting. Still drifting around the track. That was turn 6. And now out of 7. Onto the front stretch. Aaron Smith. Celebrating like a winner. And I'm telling you, the best tasted donuts right now are at Watkins Glen. Aaron Smith. Once again, getting another win on the season. So many wins. And there are 2 races left in the season. I mean, can anybody else win the championship at this point?
I think it's a long shot, and I think they have to pray that Aaron Smith doesn't show up to a single race for the rest of the season.
Well, Aaron Smith is going to advance in the bracket over Ryan Campbell, and it's really crazy. Ryan Campbell had the best race of his road and plate career so far. Second place finish there. Great run for Campbell for sure, but Smith, of course, going to advance on that one. Labano and Wiseman, I believe, is going to go to Labano. Powell and Bast, I believe, will go to Jay Bast. And Kruger and Stoner, it's going to go to Kruger. And now, just a reminder, the way it works is total points scored throughout the night. So it's not just you finish ahead of, the other in the feature, then you advance. No, it's your total points scored between the two and who comes out on top. So I believe it's going to be Smith and Labano next week at Willow Springs, and Baston and Kruger at Willow Springs. I could be wrong on that, though. But we got some interviews. And quite frankly, I'm not sure who we're going to start off with interviews. If we can bring in Ryan Campbell. Yeah, we can. He's got 2 interviews so far. This will be his 3rd. And John, I'll let you go ahead and talk to Ryan Campbell.
Well, Ryan, it's the guys in the booth, and you got a 2nd place finish here tonight. You gave it all you could for the bracket challenge. I mean, you came up 1 spot short, but he came up one spot short to the guy that I think is just mopping the floor with everything he does in this series. There's not much you or anybody else could have done. I think he did everything you could. Second always sucks, so I'm not going to ask you how it feels, but how'd the racing feel out there?
Oh, that was the most amount of fun I've had, I think, so far in this league. The battle there with Kruger and watching James slowly make his way up to us, it was so much fun. I didn't take tires in the pit stop, so it was just total concentration and tire conservation all race long.
We've seen our fair share of chaos. It looked like drivers were getting into incidents, and then steering would be broken. They'd come back out on track, and people would get driven into. I wasn't really paying attention to who was around the chaos, but did you get to witness or be around any of it? And anything you can remember from the race that just kind of had you, for lack of a better word, at a pucker moment?
Oh, definitely. We came, Brandon and I came out of turn 1, and one of the drivers had hit the inside wall and was spiraling rapidly across the track towards us, and we both had to go way outside to dodge. It was a hairy one.
We look to next week. Obviously, we talked about the bracket challenge. You getting eliminated tonight, you gave it all you had, but we have Willow Springs on tap, and then 2 weeks from now we have Talladega. What do you have left for the rest of the season? What's kind of your goals? What are you looking forward to in the coming weeks?
Well, my goal was top 15 in points this season, so I think I'm pretty much there. So I'm just looking to have some fun and hang on to that. Maybe top 10's possible. I don't know. I'll have to see how the points look after this race.
Last and final thing before we let you go celebrate a second place finish here tonight from Watkins Glen. Sponsors, shout out anybody that helps you get it done in that 18 machine.
Oh, that's got to be TW3 Liveries. He makes a number of the paints in this league. He made mine and my dad's sister paint, the Campbell soup cans. So he's the one.
All right, and that is your second place finisher, Ryan Campbell. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And Josh, our next interview going down the order, next person eligible is actually somebody that you got to talk to earlier. And I suppose that you'll get to talk to him again, Mr. James Moore.
Yeah, hey James. Once again, get to talk to you.
It's fancy meeting you guys here. Really didn't think I'd be here after where I was starting.
Yeah, and it was a fourth place run for you. There was a lot of chaos overall throughout the race, but you were able to avoid it all and come away with fourth.
Yeah, so a couple things. First, I want to apologize to Robert in the 5. That was 100% netcode. I did not mean to murder you, but it was kind of suicide because I just finished you off. Secondly, this is my official petition to make Watkins Glen a permanent fixture on the Road and Plate schedule, because that was one of the craziest races we've ever had. Battles throughout the entire field. Incredibly fun. Third, shout out again to my fiance. Don't think I would have finished that race without that pain pill that she brought me. What a race, man. That was so much fun coming from the back. The chaos everywhere. Kruger is one of the most fair, competitive dudes I've ever raced against, and that was just, that battle right there with him and Ryan at the end was incredible.
Yeah, and it was very close between all three of you. All three of you did a great job. Campbell, Mikey, and yourself. I mean, just as it's coming down to the end of it, and what is going through your mind as you guys are racing just such close quarters there?
I was really hoping that Michael would get up there side by side with the 18 through the carousel, and I'd just shoot the bottom and get by both of them. And I'd be talking to here about a second place finish from the back. But, you just kind of got to pick them where they come. And those guys, we were so evenly matched there near the end, catching up to Ryan there. Me and Kruger were one lap I was a 10th faster, one lap he was a 10th faster. And it was just so fun trading that. And with the guy who in the heat showed that even if I raced him hard, he would race me fair. And that just makes it so much better out here.
Well, a great finish for you with third place. So sponsors, shout outs, who gets it done for you once again?
Yeah,
Floor is
once
yours.
again, got to shout out my Velocity Pixels sequential sim sport team. The guys are a great group of guys. We have a lot of fun over there. But, it's really just putting down the rhythm, getting into these tracks. And this, like I said, this is my track to pick. And I'm confident that if it hadn't had to come from the back, I would have been up there with Aaron and Molitor and Dustin before they had their misfortunes. And it probably would have been a hell of a battle there, too.
All right. Well, congrats on the podium. A great night overall for you between the
thank you,
sprint and the
guys.
feature. So we'll see you next week at Willow Springs.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a great night.
Thanks.
And that was James Moore. And John, I believe you have... It's going to be Jay Bast.
Indeed, I do. And Jay Bast, you bring it home 6th. You get a good run out of the car. 36 seconds back doesn't do it justice on the run that you and the other drivers had there with Aaron Smith just absolutely doing what Aaron Smith does. But, 6th place, there was a lot going on in this race. I believe you were right in the middle of a lot of it. You started 2nd in the feature, but it didn't come easy for you. So go ahead and just walk us through how that racing was for you.
Howdy, everybody. Yeah. I did start this race with an EOL carried over from last week's Daytona race. So we came all the way from the back to finish 6th. And
That's
with that,
true.
I'm extremely pleased. That was a lot of fun. So much great racing with everybody. I love going through this entire pack. Like, all the guys and girls here are such fantastic, respectful drivers. It's an incredible group that Dustin has aggregated here over the years. Road and plate running. What are we in season 7 now? Like, it's pretty solid. A lot of awesome drivers, and yeah, there's no other series that I would be that comfortable just like trying to start from the back, But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We fought really hard for a lot of those positions. I'm rewatching a good battle with James Moore here, who finished just ahead of us. I remember after the pit stop, we were chasing down Chuck for that top 5 spot. We were counting each other's lap times. The delta was half a second, 0.8, here and there. But ultimately, his defense was too strong, and we came home in that 6th place. But yeah, I love this place, man. Watkins Glen is fantastic.
And we got much more good racing coming up in the coming weeks. We look at Willow Springs and then Talladega. Those 2 races, I don't know much about Willow Springs, but I know plenty about Talladega and the carnage that comes with that racing. Just tell us, where are your goals set for the rest of this season, and what can we expect to see from you for these next 2 races?
Well, I can tell you that I believe after every plate race this season, I have come away with an EOL. So plate racing on this new ARCA car is not really my forte, it seems. But Willow Springs, on the other hand, is a place that I know very well. I guess it's my local track now that both Irwindale and Auto Club are gone. RIP to the both of them. But yeah, Willow Springs is super fun. We've done it a bunch in our Mustang League, and Sam and I have run a bunch of laps there too. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think I'm up against Kruger in the bracket challenge, so hoping to defend my title there as well. And yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I'm hoping to do well at Willow next week.
All right, and the last thing that we do here for these interviews, and I hope for once you're going to shout out your own Twitch, so I don't have to, but we'll let you go ahead and give a shout out to your sponsors and who helps you get it done with that 53.
Yes, check out the Twitch stream if you want a sweaty POV. It's twitch.tv/JBastBlast. Check out 80bitbetter.com, evpartpicker.com, and Homebrew Auto on Instagram as well for all your EV classic conversions needs, and a lot of cool, interesting content over there. And yeah, shout out to Taylor. She does a good job being my crew chief in my ear over here and watching all the races. Shout out TW3 Liveries. Tom Went does an awesome job painting about three-quarters of the field here. TW3 does awesome work. Check them out for all your paint scheme needs. And as always, thanks to Dustin Bawley and Evan Hubchak for running the league and being the title sponsor with Pomrat Golf. And yeah, thanks to JCTV as well for putting on these awesome broadcasts. It's super fun to have a broadcast to go back and watch and see, where we could have done better and relive all the action. So super fun. Thanks, everybody.
Well, that is your 6th place finishing, Jay Bast. Jay, we appreciate you stopping by, and we do hope you have a great night and you get to celebrate your finish.
Thank you. Have fun, everybody.
And that was Jay Best, our final interview of the night. And Josh, just looking at what we've had happen here tonight, there was so much chaos throughout such a simple road course. We talked about how much drivers would know this road course and would be familiar, and how we could see a potential for some chaos. We got plenty of it here tonight, and I do believe we have an updated bracket challenge made official for us.
Yes, and I was correct. It was Aaron Smith moving on against Ryan Campbell. Chuck Labano moving on over Laura Wiseman. Jay Bast taking the best of Levi Powell and Michael Kruger over Samuel Stoner. So it will be Smith versus Labano and Bast versus Kruger at Willow Springs. And to be honest with you, Jay Bast, he says he knows a lot about Willow Springs. I don't even know what the shape of it looks like, or I just kind of learned today that it's out near California. So I don't know anything about that track. We're going to find out for sure next week, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure these guys are going to put on another incredible show always. But John, we're still talking about Watkins Glen here, and this track, it was a great battle. I mean, overall, the lead was incredible until, there at the end, and then it was the Aaron Smith show once again. But overall, I mean, Ryan Campbell finishing second, Moore going from the back to third, Kruger spinning out from second, getting fourth.
That backwards. Kruger got third tonight. Moore gets fourth.
Yeah. That's right.
Your point remains the same. One position isn't going to take away the feat there. Your point remains the same. They both did an incredible job.
Yes. And I don't know why, but my telemetry that you guys don't see says it backwards, and I just was kind of reading that. So that was the reason for that. But yeah, you're right. Kruger did get third. But I mean, still, those guys were so impressive tonight. Jay Bast even coming from the back to finish sixth. I mean, just props to everybody for what they were able to accomplish tonight.
And talking about guys that came from the back, right behind Jay Bast, actually. I mean, I know we talk about Jay Bast having an EOL, James Moore had EOL, but still gridded 26 was Randy Bechtel after finishing one lap down in the 26th position in the heat race. Clearly had issues. We saw some chaos in that heat race, but from 26th to 7th for the driver of the 19. That is another one of those just incredible drives.
Yeah, absolutely. That's another great example, another driver that deserves praise for what they were able to do tonight. But I think that's going to do it from us here at JCTV. Another fun night of racing here in the Road Plate Palmer Golf Series, which you know what I didn't do, and I'm going to go ahead and do it right now. And that's just that I want to tell you that I can't find what I'm trying to read off. But Palmer Golf delivers classic styles in a modern fit that allow you to move seamlessly from the office to the course to hanging with friends and family. Visit palmeratgolf.com today to browse their collection of fine golf apparel, including polos, pullovers, pants, and more. That is palmeratgolf.com. Without those guys, then this league would probably not be as successful as they are. So definitely give a huge shout out to Palmer Golf and check them out. So other than that, yeah, tune in Saturday night to season 8, race 2 of Blazer Sim Racing Grid Network Truck Series as they hit Kentucky. And it's going to be right here at JCTV at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then 1 week from tonight will be Willow Springs here in the Palmer Golf Road and Plate Series. Big thanks to the admin team, the drivers, and the fans watching at home. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. And on behalf of the entire outstanding crew at JCTV and Jonathan Canfield, I'm Joshua Coppernoll, signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and we will see you next time. Take care.